Hello everyone, welcome to Soul Journey. Soul Journey is a space for spiritual growth and development, knowing our inner self and understand our relationship with the cosmos, a cosmos that is within us. And if you have liked our videos, if you have watched our videos before, please do like and subscribe to our channel, share our videos so that we can reach a wider audience. It will be very helpful. Thank you. Today I'm sharing deep insights of life after death based on the divine revelations of Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel. The human body is composed of 5 physical elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. At the moment of death, the physical body returns to these elements while the soul departs along with its 3 elemental subtle body that is made of ether, air, and fire. That is Akash, Vayu, and Agni. The subtle body carries the impression of karma, sanskaras, and thoughts. The lighter and purer these elements are, the higher the soul can ascend. If they are heavy with negativity or worldly attachments, the soul remains stuck in the lower dimensions on the earth plane. This is why awareness, spiritual purity, and remembrance of the Supreme are essential while living in this human body. So at the moment of transition, the soul may rise with ease towards the divine realms. I have prepared certain points, to explain this life after death in a way that can be easily understood. But I highly recommend that you read the book Life in Multiverse. There are many chapters which have got information on life after death, the soul, the detail about the elements which the subtle body will carry along with itself. What is the soul about? So the chapters on life and multiverse are very, very important. It'll help one in spiritual growth and progress. The more you understand yourself, your relationship with the cosmos, the easier it is to focus on yourself to meditate. So, what is it that lies beyond death? Like I said, the human body itself it's composed of 5 elements. But what happens beyond death? 2 elements of, earth and water are left behind, and the other lighter elements travel along with the soul itself, that is the subtle body, and the soul will rise. And across every tradition, humans have asked, what happens after death? According to Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel, death is not the end, but the soul's transition from one dimension to another. The physical body is merely a vessel, and when it perishes, the soul encased in its subtle body and karmic account moves into the astral realms, driven by its last thought, karma, and spiritual vibrations. Most people do not realize that they have died immediately. They remain attached to the family, desires, traumas. At times we have heard, from those who have had near-death experiences too, that their soul was hovering over their body. They were watching the doctors work on their body, They were watching their family members. They could travel, in moments of thoughts to any other space that they could think of, and yet they could not leave the body. So that's why they came back. So knowing the truth of life beyond death becomes a sacred responsibility. And how do we know all this? One is that you gain knowledge through videos like this, reading books. Bapuji has extensively discussed this in a lot of depth. And in fact, in almost every video of his, he has made some mention that how crucial it is for us to understand, have this knowledge of your own soul, your journey, and how you are connected to this vast cosmos. And that is how you are aided in your spiritual growth. Why are we born, and what is the purpose of our life? We are not born by an accident. The soul takes birth in a specific family, country, and situation due to its past karma and spiritual needs. It may have a soul family. The soul family will be there to support. They all have a divine plan together. According to Bapuji, the soul descends from higher planes into the physical world to resolve karmic debts, evolve through experience, and return to its source. And it has to remember where it came from to return, and that is where the journey begins. The life is a classroom. Every joy and pain is a teacher. But the final purpose is spiritual, to remember our Atma Swarup, to get back to our true soul consciousness, transcend illusion, that is Maya, and return to Paramdham, the original home of the soul. And even to recognize where is our original home, we need to know our own creator. How do we know our creator? So Behad Gyan is all about that. What happens the moment we die? At the moment of death, the soul encased in its subtle body. The subtle body is called the Suksham Sharir. It will exit through the exists through the energy point of the crown, that is called the Brahmandra. If the soul is heavy with negative karmas, there's a lot of negative energy, there was a lot of negative karma that it has done, or negative deeds, it had negative thoughts. So it becomes tamopradhan, and it remains earthbound. It's not easy for the soul to depart. But if the soul is spiritually elevated, it travels into higher dimensions, higher realms. The thoughts at death create the soul's immediate trajectory. But the thoughts at the time of death, last moment, will have an impact to the amount that what the soul really did throughout its life. Last moment can impact. There could be a sudden transformation. There have been, there has been evidence about the souls that the last moment totally changed, but that intensity was of the thought was so powerful that it could create that magnificent transition. But it is important to also realize that your journey through the in this living body is very important. What you do and how you do and how you think, your actions are very, very crucial. So sometimes if all your life you have done nothing but killing and destroying lives of people, destroying your own self, living recklessly, thoughts may have very little impact, on your journey after death. You are destined for a difficult journey after death. So Bapuji says that Antmati so gati, the last thought determines the next destination. Again, weighing on what I just said, that it also depends how you really lived your life also, because what your thoughts at the last moment will be, they'll be generally based on what you did, what was your primary way of thinking, mode of thought was there, that happened, lived, that you've lived with. The soul sees the body that it has left and often stays around for rituals, then slowly moves towards its karmic realms. So how does karma shape our afterlife? Karma is not just an action, it is a vibration. Every thought, word, and deed creates an imprint on the soul's subtle body. According to Bapuji, the Suksham Sharir, the subtle body, reflects one's karmic burden. A soul carrying negative karma sinks to lower astral planes or will remain earthbound. Positive karma propels the soul upwards. There is no divine judgment. Karma itself is the judge. And Babuji has also explained in many of his videos that the during the olden times, there used to be the god of death, who would come. The Yamraj would come and determine where the soul has to go, whether it has to go karmically to hell or heaven, or where it's going to be. It would decide its fates. There was Chitragupta to check the good deeds of the body, the records of the soul. But later on, everything has become automated, because human life also has evolved. There were times when people did not have anything, they didn't know what a cell phone was. Everything was very different, but now computers and now quantum computers have come into being. So he says that even spiritual knowledge and workings evolve with time. So there is no divine judgment, and karma itself becomes your judge. Everything has become automatic. So you can understand, when you look at your own life and look at it with the perspective, as being an outsider, and watch yourself playing in a movie, you can decide where you are heading for. This is why spiritual cleansing, forgiveness, and meditation are vital in life. It is important to self-reflect and do whatever that it takes to recognize where I need to change. What can I do today that makes me a better human being? How can I be of service to community, to human life, to life as such, to whatever the creation has to offer? And we need to remember, so if we are leaving the body, and if we don't know where we need to go, it might be a state of confusion. There will be support system. There will be beings of light that do come and take you. But yet, why do we forget who we are? Because we don't know where we are going at that moment of, at that last moment, we really don't know. So why do we forget who we really are? The soul originally is divine. It's full of knowledge. And the true nature of the soul is peace. Papuji says it's Param Shanti is the true nature, the true state of the soul is Param Shanti. And that is why he has given the mantra of Param Shanti, that to come back to the original state. When you remind your soul of Param Shanti, that of supreme peace. Param Shanti means supreme peace. When you persistently remind your soul about Param Shanti, it will come to its true remembrance. So the soul originally is divine. It has all the knowledge. It has all the ingredients to remember where it came from, who is it, its creator. It is full of peace and purity. That is the true nature. But upon entering the cycle of birth and death, it becomes enveloped in illusions, the false world of Maya. This illusion veils its true nature. As Bapuji explains, due to repeated births and attachment to body consciousness, luxuries and futile pleasures, false because you can't take them with you when you leave the planet. When your body departs, the only thing it can take its essence of karma and goodness. So when the soul is attached to the body consciousness, it is forgetting its true identity. Spiritual amnesia sets in. The only cure is remembrance of the self, of Paramatma, and of soul's true home and its own true nature of Param Shanti, supreme peace. How did divine beings, if soul was divine, how did it fall? How did divine beings fall? Initially, souls were farishtas or the angelic beings. They were even gods and goddesses, but they were beings of light in the Satupradhan, the purest state. Through time, as they engaged in worldly desires, their energy was reduced. From angels, they became deities who are known as Devis and Devatas. Then they became ordinary humans. This fall is not a punishment, but a consequence of vibration decline. Vibration decline because thoughts create vibrations, and if your thoughts are wrapped up in attachments, they are impure. Your vibration also will decline. Bapuji explains that this descent from Farishta to human is universal in Kali Yuga. In today's time, it is just so prevalent because this is what has happened. So can the soul regain its original power? Yes, of course. Through divine knowledge and remembrance and persistent work on itself, the soul can reawaken its original qualities. When a soul reconnects with its Atma Swarup, its true soul consciousness, and detaches from Maya, the world of illusion, its vibration will rise. It will become more positive. It will have more power. Power is what Bapuji describes at Kala. It is the soul power that is the celestial power. So when your celestial power or the Kala increases, the power in your soul has increased. And Bapuji has consistently emphasized that even now, any soul can become a light being again by cleansing karmas and connecting to the Supreme. And the mantra of Param Shanti is very, very important. Mantra of Param Shanti is all remembering supreme peace and spreading the vibrations of supreme peace for everyone throughout. So are we stuck? Are we stuck in a repeated cycle of this or the vicious loop of life and death? In a way, to a certain degree, one is, if one doesn't put in the effort to eject out of that zone. Bapuji reveals that creation follows an enormous cosmic cycle, like a clock of time. Souls are caught in this time wheel due to the karma it has created, and ignorance because it did not care to understand what its actions are leading to, what its desires are leading to. That is why it is ignorance. And the moment there is some light, at times people know there is light, and yet they're so deep in the karmic well that light cannot help till they don't make an effort themselves to exit. One must go beyond duality and reconnect with the infinite, the ultimate truth. The key is to realize that you are beyond time, beyond birth and death. Bapuji says that the soul itself has the power of countless suns. These souls can create universes. To waking up to that power is crucial. And the key thing is getting into Atma Swarup. Atma Swarup happens when you sit in with your own self, go into your own soul consciousness, reconnect with the truth, with your creator, draw in light and power, because the creator is always there. The creator knows that my children are there, they need help. So try meditative practices. Remember that you are a soul of infinite power and strength. Wake up to your true soul consciousness. One doesn't have to look outside for this. Yes, one must learn, one must try to gain as much knowledge as you can, because this knowledge is going to be the foundation. Without knowledge, you might just wonder. There might be many obstacles in your spiritual journey of meditative practice, and you might just leave it in frustration that, oh, what's happening? I'm not moving ahead. There could be day-to-day troubles, there could be obstacles that can stop your working on yourself. They will make you self-doubt. So, but the moment you are reading and you have the gyan, the knowledge, why these obstacles are coming, you understand the knowledge of self, you will be able to work on yourself through meditative practices. So this is why, it is important that you must realize that you have all the power. You have to believe in it. Once you believe, it will be easier. Even if you don't believe, try to think that who are you? Focus inside and recollect. Try to recollect. Connect with your own self. You close your eyes and you will feel there is something that is consciousness. There is something that is a deeper consciousness. That is your soul consciousness. So how can supreme knowledge liberate the soul? So I'm talking about knowledge. What knowledge is it? This is the supreme knowledge, or the Behad Gyan. Bapuji has, there are many spiritual scriptures you will find in almost all religions. There are some ancient scriptures of which contain a wealth of knowledge. Bapuji has revealed Behad Gyan, supreme knowledge of the infinite, through his divine insight and his own awakenings. And this Behad Gyan is not a simple information. It is not a simple text. It is remembrance of the eternal self. It is telling us that what is our place in the entire cosmos? What is our relationship with the ultimate creator? Are we just a small dot in the entire solar system that we know? Are we a dot in the galaxy? Are we a dot in the universe? But then there is the entire cosmos of great universes, and great universes that make multiverse. And there are multiple multiverses of higher power, higher spiritual celestial power, where there is no death. There is no death. And this is amazing. It's an amazing knowledge that Bapuji has given. So once you understand your relationship with this and your place in this huge cosmos, then you go within and seek within that who am I, where have I come from, and where am I heading to? So supreme knowledge of Behad Gyan is the remembrance of the eternal self. By knowing the secrets of dimensions, the karmic law, the soul origin, one becomes free. One is mentally prepared and one has the knowledge to work, on itself and understand, not always having an action equal to reaction, all the time reaction, reaction, reaction. That is how we have lived our lives so far. But it's time to take a moment and pause and think, does this need a response? Do I need to react? I need to go within to think why some things are happening. Knowledge, this knowledge of Behad Gyan, or supreme knowledge of the infinite, it acts like fire, it burns ignorance. That is why Bapuji emphasizes study, silence, and deep contemplation. And there are many souls that have created a lot of havoc within their own lives. They may think that they have created havoc for others. They have disrupted humanity without realizing that it's not what they have done to others, it's also what they have done to themselves. So they become greatly sinful souls. Again, it is a very deep knowledge. One has to understand the purpose of certain souls who take this thing upon themselves to help others too. So one has to go within again to understand this is such a deep knowledge. Souls who commit extreme sins, murder, abuse, hatred, become very heavy. After death, they cannot rise. They become tamasic spirits. With tamasic is that the percentage of, negativity becomes very heavy in their elements, in their Akash Tattva, and it becomes difficult to rise. And they are stuck around they are stuck around in the darkest of places, the dense places, bars, slaughterhouses, or graveyards. They are stuck there, and then depending on the power of their soul, they are either alone or they could also be overtaken. They could be taken in possession by other evil souls, and they also influence the living and often suffer in ghost realms until their karmic exhaustion or there is some intervention from a superior being, supreme being. It is a complex thing. Bapuji has, explained all this in great detail about the journey of the soul in his videos on life and death, in his videos on ghosts and spirits. What are they doing? What are they going to do in the current ages? What are their behaviors? And how you need to take charge of your own, how one can protect themselves from all this. And then there's a question that comes to my mind that I want to share is that do souls linger around earth after death? Yes, Bapuji has said many souls remain stuck near trees, homes, hospitals, or their loved ones. These earthbound souls are often unaware they have died. Their limited range is due to emotional attachment. They are probably connected to their family, their loved ones, their children, their some close beloved friends or relatives, or out of fear. Only prayers, rituals, or spiritual intervention can help them rise. So, what are ghost realms where these these souls, roam around like ghosts in their, after death? These are dimensions in the astral world where low vibration souls live. Bapuji calls these ghost zones, and these as ghost zones. These are dark, chaotic, full of conflict. souls in these, in these spaces suffer greatly. They're they're always living in their old traumas and they're unable to rest. And can these dead souls travel to the earth? Yes, they are very close to the earth. They cannot rise beyond a certain limit. And because and if they're very, very sinful and they're still living in the realm of the earth, they will always hover around, in these houses wherever they were attached, or wherever they have got trapped because of other evil spirits and souls. With their subtle body, these spirits can move through the space. However, they are limited to region, certain very limited spaces and regions that resonate with their own vibration. They are so low in their vibrations, and a tamasic soul cannot enter a high energy place. They can travel via energy paths, including mysterious portals like the Bermuda Triangle, also creating havoc for other objects that tend to go through that. Some people will take the help of certain people, exorcists and certain psychics who have worked on themselves. It is a science of learning and how these people learn to elevate their own souls, to gain certain powers through various practices. It could be through rituals and learning of certain affirmations or mantras, learning of tantra. They attain certain stages of what I would say spiritual, certain levels of spiritual growth and practice that could be related to tantra. Tantra can be used in a positive and a negative way too. It is an occult spiritual practice, but Bapuji does not really encourage that. But for certain people who cannot be helped, they need to clear themselves of these things. If somebody is finding that their place is there is some disturbance and they feel a different energy in their space, they may like to talk to such people who will use their techniques and their own way of treating these places through their own therapeutic methods, to heal the place or to clear the space of negative energies. Bapuji himself doesn't get into all this. He says, "This is not my job. I don't do all this. I have only come here to tell you and guide you so that you become strong. You become as a strong spiritual soul. You can wake up to your own soul consciousness." And he has given immense knowledge. There is so much of spiritual knowledge that he has given through his own visions and insights of his presence in the divine that is in him, that is in the entire cosmos. It might seem unbelievable, but then that is how it is. Nobody can give those details, extensive details of the cosmos and the soul self, if one has not seen it with his own eyes. He says, when I'm explaining something to people, I am seeing it, and that is how I'm able to exactly explain how it is. So, you can do anything. Sometimes people can either you can work on yourself if you are not able to, because of there is so much of negative influence on yourself. You might like to take help from somebody. But remember, you always have that soul power, that you always have the, if you have the will and determination that I will make it, I have the power of so many, maybe millions of suns in my soul, and I can, the moment I ignite that thing, that spark, I have immense power. I can clear all this. Everything will be just cleared away, because uh, dark souls cannot be in the presence of light. They will just leave. They will disperse from there. So once that light sparks in your own life, you are well protected. You will learn how to protect your own space. So definitely go through a lot of videos by Bapuji. He has given many videos on how to protect and how to gain that soul power. And, I was talking to somebody, and we were discussing, then they said, if some people, when they, in certain cultures, in many religions, it is there, this is practiced, that when somebody dies, then the offerings are made, during a certain period of the year, to help the departed soul, to help the spirit. So this was true. Again, Bapuji said this could help the souls, but now he says times are very, very different. Like there is no Yamraj, he said. It is all like a computerized system. So feeding trees or offering food to the unknown entities can also invite problems when you're getting into this. Bapuji warns that such acts may attract tamasic spirits. These rituals, unless guided by deep spiritual knowledge, do more harm than good. And so then these spirits can possess people too. Like I said earlier, I was discussing, Bapuji has explained extensively in his video about ghosts. There are many videos on ghosts and tantras and spirits that he has given. I will share the link of as many as I can find, and I will share them, in the description box. And also in the chat box, and pin it up so that you can take time. Some of them have been translated in English, some haven't been, but I will try to add as much as possible as I can. So when the aura of a person is weak, when your soul power is weak, your aura becomes weak, it becomes more dark. And there is excessive fear in the person. There is addiction, trauma. Spirits can attach to this person, or even possess a person. They can control that person. And there are extreme cases also where a person, the original soul, is not in control of itself. And regular spiritual practice, meditative practice, can strengthen the aura and protect the soul. And yet, Bapuji has also warned that sometimes these souls can enter into the DNA of a person. Then it is very hard to get rid of it. So if that happens, it will become very difficult. But the moment you're alerted that, something is not right about my behavior, be cautioned, be aware that doing right deeds and getting into soul consciousness is very, very important for everyone who is doing good things, working for the community, studying, working, living a normal life. But getting into soul consciousness is also very, very important. And not to be attached to whatever actions you have done. If you are serving the community, do not have expectations, because those expectations will bring you back to receive the reward. So our, these spirits, in fact, Bapuji has mentioned, I want to say here that these wars and these accidents that happen, and not only this, some good things that have also happened. There could be good souls behind this, there could be bad souls behind this. Spirits are behind many actions that are happening on Earth. There are spirits, and there are also aliens from outer worlds who are doing that. So Bapuji has confirmed that many large-scale tragedies, create fear and disasters. Uh, these disasters are created by these spirits, evil-minded spirits, and they are influenced by subtle negative forces. Again, these subtle forces can be aliens, can be negative spirits. Spirits feed upon anger, fear, chaos, hate, and places with heavy conflict often have dense spirit activity. Accident and wars can sometimes be a result of collective karma influenced by tamasic entities. Collective karma of the people, of the community, of the people who are getting at war. And so when we are talking about war, even when they're internal, you will find there are certain riots happening. There are mass killings. There could be a major accident where many people just die. It was not their fault, but something happened. So this is a result of collective karmic action that has taken shape of that accident. So there are also there are people who fight wars for their country. These are patriots, martyrs after death. So souls who die in service, you have, in fact, in India, there is a place, there is a temple also named after one such patriot. They say that the soul of this patriot is still there, is helping the soldiers, and soldiers have felt their presence and they have felt guided because of this. So Bapuji has confirmed that that these souls who die in service, like soldiers, saints, and reformers, they will often ascend to subtle realms with honor, and they will come back to help the community there. They will continue working for the dharma even after death. Their light expands through their sacrifice. So again, like the last thoughts at the time of death, do they matter? Like throughout your life, you have done bad deeds, and do your final thoughts matter? Yes, your thoughts, the final stage of death, your thoughts will matter, and Bapuji says, but practice daily and remember that, you are a powerful creative soul. You are a soul with supreme power. Your pure consciousness. He has given affirmations to remember your true self and remember that your true state, true nature is supreme peace. This itself will help you to become more stable-minded, and your end will be more peaceful. But if throughout your life you have created havoc and created chaos, um, your last thoughts could be around that, unless and until there was a strong intervention of some higher power, and there was a sudden transition. It might be very difficult. Even your last thoughts will not be pure. So, like Babuji said, Antmati Sogati means your last thoughts will determine where you are going to go. So, do live very mindfully, and watch your steps, watch your thoughts. And in fact, often Bapuji has said that talk only if you need to. Just check in with yourself. Do you need to respond? Do you need to say something? And so definitely, I really wish if these topics were discussed in schools with the children at a younger age. I truly wish if I was taught my life would have been very, very different. And though modern education really ignores all this, they are not really, but there are spiritual groups, in the community now. World is awakening to a new world, to a new humanity, where more and more people are becoming mindful of their actions. But there are extreme other ends too. Everything is recorded in the Akash, the ether element. And this is called the Akashic record, the space of the Akashic records. And there is a record of every soul's karma. These are cosmic supercomputers. Every vibration of every single thought gets stored. And that is why, Bapuji has repeatedly said, be very mindful of your thoughts. And these thoughts are known as sankalp. And these sankalps will create your sanskaras. They will create your momentum. And they will act upon your wisdom and your daily activities, because they will create a trajectory for you, because vibration have weight in them. They will create a momentum. And all this is stored. And when a person dies, at the time of death, these records play before the soul. They are, I remember listening to so many NDs. They said the entire thing is played before our eyes like a movie. And every single aspect has been captured there. So we must live very mindfully. We must awaken to this truth. And my purpose of having this channel, Soul Journey, is only this, to spread this awareness. Sometimes it hurts why people were born with a disability, with some kind of ability that is very painful for us to watch as a parent or as an observer, and why that is happening. And this is the outcome, because these were the records. And this is not a punishment by any means, Bapuji says. It is the soul's agreement before birth based on past karma. And some souls will choose to clear that karma by suffering a lot in the current lifetime. That the soul determined that, okay, I want to clear all my karmic things, whatever mess I've done with myself. I want to clear all that. Maybe I will suffer a lot more and I'll deal with it. And that is why they are born, and they go through that much of pain and suffering to overcome their karmic debt, and for rapid evolution, to teach others about compassion too, compassion and care. It is a divine contract. And karma, so in a way, karma is affecting your health, because again, if there was a lot of karmic debt, it can play in various forms. What you did onto others will come back to you for sure. But then there are certain many other things. And we have to realize, when we are suffering, we should not curse. We should reflect, why are we suffering? The cause is within us. The seed is within us. I am responsible, not somebody else is responsible. This blame game has to stop. Most diseases will begin in the subtle body, and even traumas do affect, like a person has gone through trauma, and that pain and grievance is there in the subtle body, and it will cause distress to the physical body eventually. And that is why it is important not to hold that trauma. Supposing somebody has done something, do not hold on to that. Hold on to the fact that that person created a suffering and for you, and you are hurt. It happened, and the moment you forgive and forget about it, the better it is, the lighter you will feel. Forgiveness is very, very important. Forgiveness for self, forgiveness for others. And if you feel that you hurt somebody, Bapuji says, please at every day at night before you sleep, recall what you have done through the day. And if you have hurt anybody, you feel conscious that that yes, you have done some mistake or hurt somebody. Apologize before sleeping, and promise that you will not repeat that again. It will ease a certain amount of burden, and when Param Tattvas, the divine elements, become weak because of all these traumas and negative way of thoughts and negative vibrations that you have allowed to work on your subtle body, damage your subtle body, it becomes weak. The Param Tattvas become weak. And this is also due to the past karma too. And then illness will manifest itself in the form of physical pain, physical grievance, physical disease. And so true healing for this illness and sickness will also happen from within. You can clear the depths of it through the layers by healing your own self. And you have to understand, for this, knowledge is very, very important. So Behad Gyan, knowledge of the supreme truth, is very, very important. And these ghosts can also influence our emotions, because sometimes you suddenly feel very sad. You were sitting and suddenly you felt sad, and then you will recall something, and there might be somebody whom you knew in the past, or whenever it was. It can create certain kind of depressive thoughts, and tamasic spirits can affect your thoughts. They can create depression, they can create anxiety, addictions. All this they can do. So that is why having a clean space means a space where you are meditating and having positive vibrations in the space, can be through your own spiritual practice, and playing mantras, good mantras in the space can also help. So aura cleansing is also a good thing, because your aura can be filled on daily basis with some tamasic thoughts or vibration. And if there are holes in the aura, these negativities will tend to penetrate. So you have to clean your aura and seal yourself. There are many videos of Bapuji on this that one can see, where he has explained how you can seal your aura and gain more of divine power within your own soul self. And what do you need to do? Yes, definitely what you need to do is to do your meditation, reflect within, go in your soul conscious states. And this is not simple mindfulness. It is not that you're simply sitting with your in a meditative posture and listening to music and feeling peaceful. That's a bliss. That's, of course, leaves out your stress, but that is not what it is all about. You really have to go deep within, reflect on yourself, study, get the spiritual knowledge, and connect with your true soul. Try to see where your soul is. We will discuss. In fact, there is also another discussion happening on the same channel with Mona and Sukhdeep. They are also going to talk in the upcoming video about meditation. You may like to look at that as well. So, can one reach Shiv Puri? Yes, meditation or tapasya is one thing, one effort that will help you to purify and rise. And if Shiv Puri is your destination with constant remembrance, you can ascend beyond the subtle realms to Shiv Puri. There are many stages, and Bapuji has explained the various realms. How does the soul travel from one realm to the other? And how it can go to Shiv Puri also. It has to be a very elevated soul, and it has to be very light to reach Shiv Puri. And whether it attains its final mukti or final liberation or Jivan Mukti at that point is to be seen, depends on the soul. What is the best way to do these practices? It's a one may think about it, but the best way is to start. Just not to think, but to start. If you need to study, study and start the practice. Start seeing there are no shortcuts. You will have to work, but then you must start. The moment you become conscious and aware of the fact that you need to work on yourself, you must do it. And that is your day one, and it'll lead you. And not to be deterred by obstacles and influences. And sometimes people do tend to ridicule also. What are you doing? They can ridicule to their own glory. They can do what they want to, but you know within yourself that you want to become soul conscious. You want to be aware. You want to know your own inner truth. So definitely do the work and begin remembering the ultimate God, ultimate creator, the Paramatma, the highest soul self is the supreme soul self, or the Param Atma. Atma is the soul and Param is supreme. So remember the Paramatma, wash your karmas daily, cleanse yourself, clean your aura, stay in Atmaswarup as much as you can, and try to keep your vibrations light and clean, not to feel heavy with what somebody has said and done, not to connect yourself with any such thoughts. Do not try to avoid attachments. Do your task daily, what you need to do. It's not sitting in isolation and living a life in recluse, but definitely do what you need to do. But look at this channel. There are a lot of good videos here. In particular, I will emphasize, go through the video list of the book Life in Multiverse. It is still continuing. We have covered about 15 lessons. And some chapters have been split into two, because Life in Multiverse is I say that it is a spiritual scripture in its own self. It has a power of its own. It is the divinity of Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel. It is not merely a book or a text to be read for information's sake, but it is something that has to be spiritually, dissolved in your system, and it has to go in your soul self, and it will help you to wake up to your true self. That is what I believe in. And I'm amazed by, so far as we are progressing with the discussions on this book, I am amazed each and every day, every time we talk about it. There is so much to learn about life and death and our soul connection with the entire cosmos. And you are not this body. We have to remember, we are not this body. We are a soul. We are soul beyond galaxies, beyond universes, beyond the multiverses. We don't know. The body is inside our soul. The body is there because of the soul. It is a manifestation of the soul. The soul doesn't reside in the body. Some souls are from Brahmalok, others can also be from higher planes. This Behad Gyan reveals that you're infinite and your journey doesn't end in any loka, but continues until you fully remember yourself totally, where you are from, what is your divine state of being. Your divine state of being is the Supreme Paramatma. We have a playlist on Life in Multiverse, and Life in Multiverse is a beautiful book on divine revelations by Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel. And it has deep insight into the journey of the soul and life beyond death too. So on the side, I wanted to share a little bit more in detail about life and death, again based totally on what Bapuji has explained to us. These are divine revelations of the soul journey by Bapuji. In many of his videos, I've taken information from there and put it together so that if one wants to know a little bit more, you can go back to the videos. I will share the links of some videos, but then this will give a good idea about what is this journey all about. This is a simple explanation about life after death, as explained by Bapuji in numerous videos and his book on life in multiverse and his book on life after death as well. So I really hope, viewers, that you have enjoyed this small discussion on life and death. Do write in your comments and share your thoughts in the comment section below. And if there are any questions that I can assist you with, I will happily respond to them. Thank you for watching. And once again, if you have liked the video, you have liked the content, please do give a like, subscribe, and share with others. Thank you.